Hello everyone, we should be live on Facebook. Sorry that I am a little bit late today. A few little technical issues because technology is just not liking me and my phone wouldn't connect to Facebook. But never mind, we are live now. So hopefully you are all joining me. I can see that lots of you are commenting already and there are lots of you tuned into the live feed already too, which is incredible. So I am so excited for everyone to be joining me today. Hopefully the feed should start to come through in a moment. But again, if you've got any questions during today's stamp along, please do leave them in the comments as we go and I will do my best to answer any of your questions, any that I can answer as we go. Okay then, so fingers crossed we should all be working fine now. So today's project is a little bit different. We're going to be making a wedding card in today's stamp along, but of course if you wanted to create this project but maybe make it for a birthday or something like that, you can do as well. So this is what we are going to be making today. So many of you asked me how to use a vellum on your projects, so I thought this would just be a brilliant way to kind of show you a different way to use this on your project. So we're going to be creating some gorgeous vellum flowers using the Rose Mallow flower stamp and die set. We're also going to be using the geometric background across the bottom here to create this really pretty background, and of course we are going to be using some heat resistant acetate and the spring foliage stamps to create the foliage that is in the background of the flowers here too. So you can see how well this is all going to work together. We've got the fabulous wedding day sentiment on here as well. Of course, if you want to make this card for an anniversary, it will be brilliant. You could just change the colours up. If you were doing like a golden wedding anniversary or a silver wedding anniversary, you could just change the colours to gold or silver to suit. Or I think for a wedding card, this just looks so lovely, all in the whites and ivories. Really pretty. So that's going to be today's project. I know that lots of you have kind of been requesting that we do a little bit of vellum in the stamp along, so I thought today was a great opportunity to be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a little materials list up. If this is your first time joining the stamp along, thank you so much for joining us. We are normally here every Wednesday at 2 o'clock live on the Chloe's Creative Cards Facebook page, and I'm always bringing you a new project each week and showing you something different. Next week will be a little bit different. There won't be a stamp along next week, I'm afraid. We've got quite a lot going on back at HQ, should we say. So there's lots going on there. We've got new stock arriving and we're just trying to move the warehouse around and things like that to make way for the new goodies. So there won't be a stamp along next Wednesday, but there will be a live video at some point next week. So if you haven't done so already, hop over at the website, which is chloescreativecards.co.uk. Sign up to the newsletter and you will get an email notification to let you know when the live will be on the page next week, because it will be using some brand new goodies, which is very exciting. And I think I might give you a little sneak peek actually at the end of this video if I can find it. I had one in my hand and I popped it down. But yes, I'll give you a little sneak peek at the end of today's stamp along of some of the newness that will be coming next week. So yes, a very exciting time. And yeah, but we'll be here live today and you'll be able to stamp along with me today to do today's project as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the materials list in to show you exactly what you need to make this project. Of course, all the materials are available on the website, which is chloescreativecards.co.uk. And I know because we're using vellum, probably lots of you are going to be asking me, when are we getting vellum back in stock? Have we got any? At the moment we haven't, but we have got some on its way. So it'll be coming in stock on the website very soon. So please do keep an eye on there, and it is beautiful quality vellum as well. It stamps and embosses perfectly. It's what I'm going to be using for today's stamp along project. Okay then. So we are going to get started. I'm going to pop the materials list in, and as I've got that in, I'm going to move my little camera around because I've got a new fancy stand and everything over here to put my camera on, which is all very exciting. So I'm going to spin the camera around and I'm going to pop the materials list in so that I can get myself prepared. So this is what we are going to be using for today's project. So we are going to be using the Wedding Words stamp set. So that's for your sentiment. So obviously if you're making this for an anniversary card or something like that, you can be using a different sentiment to do that. We're also going to be using the Sparklicious Glitter in Crystallina. So that is just to give you that lovely kind of crystally sparkle on your project, which is fabulous. We are also going to be using the Rose Mallow flower stamp and die set, which is this beautiful flower stamp and die set that we're going to be creating with the vellum. So that's going to look gorgeous. We are also going to be using the geometric background stamp. So that's going to create the little background just across your project. So that's going to look fabulous too. we are going to be using the Spring Foliage Clear Stamp Set. So that's going to be your foliage behind the flowers, which we always kind of pop in behind the flowers because it just gives a really nice finished effect. We are also going to be using the self-adhesive pearl, so any of those that you've got in your craft box, and we're going to be using the crystals in opal as well, which are gorgeous. We are also going to be using our luxury pearl card in quartz and crystal white, so really pretty colours. Again, keeping this for like a wedding project, but you could change this up if you wanted to. So if you wanted to pop a pink background in and make this for a birthday card, of course you could do as well. We're also going to need some plain white card, that's just for a little bit of matting and layering and to pop your sentiment on. We are going to need some white pearl embossing powder. Now I think when you all see this, it's probably a colour that you kind of overlook on the website, but when you see it used, it looks incredible. Okay, we are also going to be using the metallic silver super fine embossing powder and the opaque bright white super fine embossing powder, which I do believe is back in stock on the website at the moment. It's back in stock in the small jars, and we're still waiting for the big ones coming in, but hopefully they should be arriving with us soon. We're also going to be using white vellum, which I've just explained we will have in stock on the website very, very soon. So please do just keep an eye on there. We're going to have lots and lots of new products being added onto there over the coming weeks. We're also going to be using heat resistant acetate, so this is kind of an essential in your craft box now. Okay, it is a really, really beautiful way to kind of add your foliage in behind your flowers, because it just kind of looks like you've die cut an image, if that makes sense, when you stamp and emboss it, but all you've done is just stamped and embossed it and roughly cut it out. So that works really well. And we're also going to be using an 8x8 straight edge card blank. Now if you haven't done so already, if you hop over at the website, you will, and click on the blog, you'll be able to see that this project's all written up. So you can go onto there and you can download a free PDF instruction sheet. She'll have your full instructions as to how to make this card on there. And there's also the materials list on there. But what I always do when I pop the materials list up, and I don't know whether everyone's realised this, is I always link the product. So if you just click on them, it'll take you to the product on the website, and then if you haven't got it, you can always add it into your shopping basket. And the instructions are all up there as well. And then once this video is finished, I will pop it onto YouTube and pop it onto the blog tomorrow as well. Okay then, so I'm going to pop the little camera onto my desk so you can see what we're doing. So here we go, this is our project for today and we will get started. I can just see there are a couple of questions come in. So Kathleen's asking, what's the difference in colour between the quartz and the opal card? So the quartz card is like what I would call an ivory. The opal's more of a cream. I don't know whether I've got, let me just see if I've got any in my craft room actually, and then I could show you the difference. Yeah, so this is opal. Right, let me grab these in. So this is the opal, this one, okay, so you can see it's a little bit more yellowy, a little bit more creamy, and this one is the quartz that we're using, so you can see it's more of an ivory colour. Okay, so I'm using quartz today, which is that lovely kind of nice ivory colour for this project. So we're going to start off by doing our flowers. So what I have already done is, because I end up doing a lot of stamping and die cutting during the stamp alongs, is I've actually gone ahead and I've just pre-stamped and die cut out my flowers, but I'm going to show you how to do this now. So we're going to grab our vellum in to start with. Now on my instruction sheet I told you that you needed 3 large and 6 medium-sized flowers. I'm actually going to show you how lovely the flowers look if you make them up like that, or if you want to add an extra layer in, it kind of makes the flower a little bit fuller. So I'll show you that technique as well. So I'm going to grab in my rose mallow flower die set there, and I'm also going to grab in my stamps. I've got them all, I'm all organised. Look, I've got them all in a little box here. So I'm going to grab my stamps in. Okay, you can see I've already stamped a large one on this piece of vellum. So when you're using vellum, what you want to do is you always want to take an anti-static bag to start with, and this is just good practice really with whenever you're stamping and embossing. You're going to tap this over your vellum like so. Okay, and then we're going to take our rose mallow stamp. So I've got mine on an acrylic block. If you haven't seen these stamps before as well, can you see how they've got the little notch on the top here? There we go. So you can see how it's got that little notch pointing upwards. So on the stamp you've got that little extra notch of polymer, and then on the die, can you see how you've got the little notch taken out? So that's just to help you with lining up. So what I'm going to do now is take my Wow clear embossing ink pad. I'm going to ink up my stamp. So you want lots of tapping all over the image, like so. Okay, and then we're going to place this down and we're going to press onto our card. So that's going to go into place there. And then we want firm even pressure all over our stamp. And then we're going to lift that off. Now what I always like to do is when I'm doing this, I like to kind of just pop a little arrow going upwards like that. Then I know those little lines were, the little notches were pointing upwards on the card, if that makes sense. I'm going to grab in a piece of scrap paper just to pop my embossing powder onto. Just give me 2 seconds to grab one of those. I was stamping and embossing earlier and I've thrown my scrap paper in the bin, so I'll just grab another sheet. Okay, so it's going to go onto there. And then we're going to take our Wow embossing powder, and the colour that we're using to do the flowers is Opaque Bright White Superfine. So this is a lovely bright white embossing powder. It is brilliant for using on vellum because it gives you this lovely kind of, it's almost like white work effect. It just looks so pretty. So when you tap off the excess, you can see that's then clung. Okay, I'm going to pop my embossing powder back into the jar. So, and then I'm going to heat this up. So I'm going to take my heat gun. Now my heat gun has 2 speeds, and to be honest, I just tend to go straight in with a high speed no matter what I'm doing or what I'm heating up. If you're not quite as confident at stamping, you could always use the lower heat to start with. So we're just going to hold that heat gun still, and then as soon as that powder starts to melt and change, we are just going to move the heat gun over the image like so. Okay, and then we're going to grab in some scissors. I'm just going to trim this down to size here. Okay, so you can just see how we've got that nicely heated up. I'm going to pop that to one side because what we're then going to do is we're going to be die cutting those out. So I'm going to try and squeeze an extra little medium flower just onto here. Should be able to do. So I'm going to just re-ink my stamp. So the Rose Mallow stamp comes in 3 sizes, and we are using the large and the medium. Okay, and this vellum that I'm using, it will be coming in stock soon on the website. So we're going to place that down, press, and then we're going to lift that off. Okay, and we're going to pop our Opaque Bright White Superfine over the top again. I'm going to just pop my little arrow in there so I know when I'm lining that up, that makes it really easy. And we're going to heat that up. Like so. Okay, so you can see how fabulous that then looks. I'm going to pop that to one side. I'm going to put my embossing powder back into the jar. Okay, and we're going to take our dies in and place these over the top. So in the instructions I said you needed to do 3 large and 6 medium, but what I'm actually going to do to add an extra like an extra set of petals under here, I'm going to do 4 large and 8 medium, okay, when we layer these up, but I'll show you the difference in the 2. So I'm going to take my dies, so I've got my large die and my medium die there, and we're going to pop these over the top. So I'm just going to grab in my low tack tape. So I'm going to cut 2 bits of tape for each of the flowers. So I'm going to put that one there and then put this one here. Okay, and see there's a few questions coming in about the glue and things with the vellum. I will get to those a little bit later in the stamp along when I'm showing you how to stick the flowers together and things. Okay, so I'm going to pop my tape down onto here. And I'm going to tape my smaller one into place as well. So I do always tend to put at least 2 pieces of tape onto my my die as well when I'm sticking it into place. It's going to go onto there. And then I'm going to grab in my plates for my die cutting machine. So I'm using my Gemini. So I'm going to use my base plate, my magnetic shim, my plastic shim. And I'm going to put my die cut side up on there and then put my cutting plate over the top. Okay, so I'm going to run this through. So we're just going to wait for that to run through our die cutting machine, and then our flowers will be all nicely cut out. Okay, so we're going to take these away. I'm going to push these through. You can see, look at that, it's just cut like a hot knife through butter, hasn't it? It's cut through absolutely perfectly. That's those flowers done. I'm going to cut the extra medium one out as well. I'm going to leave that large one because we don't really need that for this project. Must have just been a little extra from a previous one, I think. I'm going to put my tape onto here, like so, and tape that into place. Then I'm going to run this through the machine again. Okay. So we're just running that through. There we go. And then you will see, I'll just take this out, we've got that extra one die cut there too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start and shape these flowers up a little bit. So I'm going to take my flowers in. So I've got all mine pre-die cut out here. So I've got four large and I've got my 8 medium ones as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to use some tweezers. So you want tweezers that have got a nice straight edge to them. Okay, so you want straight tweezers, you don't want angled ones. And what I would be a little bit careful about is these tweezers have got quite like a rounded edge to them. These are really old and I've had them years. I don't even know where I got them from. But if you've got a pair at home, just be a little bit careful if you've got the if they've got like a real point on them, because you can sometimes find that it can put a hole in your paper or card. So just be a little bit mindful of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to take the large one, and because we're going to be twisting these around the tweezers, what I found is easier is if you take your scissors and then you just cut towards the centre of the flower. So what that then does, if I turn this over, you might be able to see a little bit better. Can you see how it just breaks the edge there away, if that makes sense? There we go. So then when you twist these, it just gives you that little bit more room and manoeuvrability, if that makes sense, to kind of shape them. So I just do that on all of the flowers, and it's dead easy to do. You can just whiz round like this. Okay, and then it's just going to give you that little bit of extra kind of space to manoeuvre these. So what I'm going to do is take my tweezers, and I'm going to place my tweezers down the centre of the petal like so. And then I'm going to take them and twist away from myself. And then release that. So then can you see how it curls that petal? Now what you might find is, you might find that a little bit of your embossing powder cracks off. That's completely normal, because basically you're twisting something that's not meant to be twisted. And you might find you get a little tear at the bottom of your petal as well. Again, that is completely normal because we're putting pressure and we're twisting the paper. So we're going to continue round doing this like so. Okay, so I'm going to just twist these round. Okay, so we're going to do this on all of the larger flowers. And you can be quite rough with them as well. You don't have to be kind of too careful. Really kind of twist those petals and it'll make them hold their shape nicely. Okay. So again, just popping my tweezers into the middle, and if you notice when I'm putting the tweezers in like this, can you see how I'm getting them right to the centre of the flower? If I hold that up really quickly, can you see that there? There we go. Makes it so much easier. So we'll give that a little twist round. Okay, and then take these away. And just see, there's a question coming from Marie. Do you only cut the flowers that are made for vellum, or can you do the same for the ones with cardstock? Yeah, you can do the same for the ones made with paper or card as well. I just tend to find when you're twisting them with your tweezers like this, it just gives you that little bit more kind of room to manoeuvre them, and it just makes them shape a little bit better. Again, you do have to be a little bit careful, because you can find that, obviously, because of the twisting, you can get a little bit of a tear at the bottom of the petal, but it's not too much to kind of worry about. You can always hide it on your finished project if that happens. So we'll just twist around here like this, and we'll take that away. Okay, so you can see how we've got that lovely shape and dimension there from just twisting the flowers. So what we're going to start to do now is layer these together. So to do that, I'm just going to use my art glitter, dry as clear glue. Now what you might find is this takes a little while to set on the vellum, but that's completely normal. So again, don't worry about that. So I'm going to pop my first layer down, so you can see how I'm just twisting and offsetting the layers a little bit. Okay, so that's this one here. And then we're going to push another blob of glue in the middle. And this one's going to go onto there, like so. So you can see how this then starts to layer up. So I'm just going to hold that for a second. Again, if you've got like an embossing tool like this one, you'll see how you can use that. Now that is 3 layers to create that flower. Okay, so you can see how pretty that looks, but we can take this a little bit further. I'm going to add an extra layer on the top, and that's just going to make the flower look that little bit fuller. So what we're going to do is, again, blob of glue into the middle, and then add our extra layer on the top. Now to add my extra layer, I always like to pull the petals up towards me like this, and then we're going to just pop this one onto here, like so. And then we're just going to give that a little squish down. Okay, so you can see how this is all starting to come together like this. So hold that up, there we go. You can see how it adds that extra layer into the flower, and it just looks really pretty. So what I'm going to do is pop that one to one side, okay, and we're going to build these smaller ones up now. So we're going to do exactly the same technique with these, and we're going to take our scissors again, and just because we're twisting them, we're going to cut down to the centre like this. Okay, and we're just going to pop this into here like so. So we'll just work our way around. Just snipping towards the centre. Okay, and again, that's just going to break the petal away a little bit and just give that little bit of flexibility just for when you twist your petals. Okay. Let's do this one here as well. So we can just work our way around. Snipping down the middle. Turn that over. It's really hard to kind of show you this, but hopefully you can just see how I've just broken that little bit up there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take our tweezers again, and we're going to do exactly the same with these. We're going to just pop our tweezers down the middle, then we're going to give them a little twist. Okay, so you can see how you're twisting these away from yourself, like so. And that's just going to add that little bit of shape onto the petals of the flowers. Okay, so we're going to keep doing this on all of these again. So it's exactly the same technique, just giving them a little twist, adding that shape into these. Okay, and then we'll do this one here, this one a twist, this one a twist. Okay, so then you can just see how you can work around adding your little bit of shape into here. Sorry if I'm moving this a little bit too close towards me. Hopefully I'm trying to keep this in shot for you. I keep getting a little bit distracted, I think, and pulling the flowers in towards me. Okay, so, but you can see how it is really easy to do. You've just got to have the confidence to do it. I think when you're kind of doing this, it's a little bit scary because sometimes you can hear it kind of crack and tear a little bit, but please do not panic. That is like completely normal. So we'll just work around building these up. I think sometimes people can be a bit scared of vellum as well to work with, but honestly it's so easy. If you've got some at home, just give it a go. You can add your inks onto the back of these if you want to give it a little bit of colour. You could be adding like some of your sparkle pens on and things like that as well. So there's lots and lots of different things that you can be doing with the vellum to give it like a really nice finished effect. And I think as we do more of these stamp alongs and things, we'll try and incorporate like some different techniques to show you some different ways to use it as well, because it is such a beautiful material for making your flowers with. Okay, so you can see how I've shaped that little pile there. So I'm going to layer these together again. So I'm going to start with my base one. Again, I'm just using my Dries Clear PVA glue. And then we're going to start to layer these up. So we're going to put one on top of each other. So this one's, oops. This one is going onto here. Like so. It can be a little bit fiddly just to get them to stick. But please just have a, just have a little go. It's honestly, it will grab. Just takes a few seconds. So then we're going to add a little bit more glue onto here. And then we're going to put this. Now look, I'm going to point my mistake out here. Look at this. Can you see how I've missed a little bit of my embossing there? But when I stick this down, I'm going to pop it in the middle. And then it'll kind of hide it. Okay, so if that happens to you at home, dead easy to hide. So we're going to pop an extra little one in here. I'm going to pop this one down here like so. So just layering them up, same technique, just twisting them. Okay, I'm going to give it a little press down with my embossing tool like this. Okay, a little bit more glue, and then we're going to pop this one onto here. Okay, and that's going to go onto there like so. Go down so you can just see how it's all starting to come together like this. Okay, but again, just have a little bit of patience with adhesives. If you pop it down and pop it straight on, you will find that the layers will just lift, but if you just give it a few seconds to grab and hold, it'll hold perfectly. And to be honest, from my experience making the finished samples that we make, I've tended to find that where we've kind of stuck them with a glue gun, they haven't actually stuck that well. So what I would do is I would always use like a wet PVA glue and just have a little bit of patience for it drying. Because what I've tended to find is when I've used a glue gun to like layer these up, over time, I don't know why it is, but it just seems like the layers just ping off. So for all the glue guns, great, because it grabs like straight away. I think for this it's a little bit easier. I have to be honest as well, I have stopped using my glue gun for lots of things because I do just constantly burn myself on it. I don't know whether anyone else is like that at home, but I should come with like a warning if I go near a glue gun. It's not good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to keep layering my flowers up with my Dries Clear PVA. And you can sometimes find, obviously, when you put a wet adhesive onto vellum, it'll curl a little bit. Again, I wouldn't worry too much. It will flatten out a little bit when it dries, but actually I think for your flowers it's nice to get that little bit of curl because it gives them that little bit of extra shape. So we're going to pop that one onto there, put another blob of glue in the middle, and then I'm going to pull, can you see I'm pull the petals towards me like this, and I'm going to put this one onto here. So this is our Rose Mallow flower stamp and die, and I think when this one first came out, it was kind of like, oh, what do you do with that? But then when you see it used, honestly, this is the most beautiful stamp and die set. It is absolutely gorgeous, and for creating these like 3D flowers for your projects, it just works so well. So you can see how we've got that one done there as well. Okay, really pretty, really dimensional. They almost look a little bit like carnations, don't they? Okay, so if you did them in colours, you could definitely be using them in that way too. I'm going to pop those to one side and we're going to let them dry, okay? And then we'll come back to them a little bit later on and add a little bit of glitter onto them, okay? Because they're not complete without that little bit of sparkle, are they? No, they're not. Okay then. So we're going to grab in our lovely quartz pearl card. So again, if you hop over the website and go onto the blog, all your measurements are on here. So I asked you to pre-prep. You've got an 8x8 card blank, okay, a straight edge one. We've then got a piece of quartz pearl card cut down to 7 3/4 inches square. A piece of the crystal white pearl card cut down to 7 1/4 inches square. And then a piece of the quartz pearl card cut down to 7 by 7. Now, I am actually going to trim this down a little bit further, but I've just asked you to cut it to 7 by 7 because you'll probably find it easier for stamping your background across the bottom this way. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our anti-static bag again and give our card a little rub over before we start stamping. And then I'm going to bring in my geometric background stamp. Okay, and this is a whopper of a stamp. Look at the size of this. It's huge. Okay, so it is a fabulous stamp. It's going to stamp straight across the bottom of here, as you can see. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this is the geometric background that we're using. So again, we're going to use our clear embossing pad and we're going to ink this up. So you want lots of tapping all over the image like so. Now again, at this point, if you wanted to make this for like a birthday card, because I know I've done it as like a wedding card, but if you want to use it as a birthday card, instead of using the quartz coloured card, swap it out for a colour. So you could be using like the pink, which is rose quartz, you could be using aquamarine or amethyst, and that will give you a different look as well. And then you could make it more for like a birthday card or any occasion. Obviously by sticking in the creams and whites, I think it does make it a little bit more of a kind of wedding card, doesn't it? So I'm going to continue inking this up like so. Lots of light tapping all over with your clear embossing ink pad. Okay, and then we are going to take our card, and this is like magic, isn't it? Every time, gets me every time, I love it. So we're going to pop that down onto our, I'm working on a stamping mat again, and then I'm going to take my stamp, and we're going to stamp this down. Now I'm going to stamp this across the bottom. Now what I tend to do is, I tend to have it so my stamp overhangs a little bit each side, because I just find that a little bit easier, and then I'm going to just stamp down. So we're going to place this down and press. So you want firm even pressure all over the stamp. Like so. And then we're going to lift that away. And can you see very faintly there how we've got that beautiful, the background's just starting to appear there. So we're going to take in our scrap paper again. And we're going to take in our opaque bright white super fine. Now this is a big decision actually. Do we go opaque bright white or should we go white pearl across the bottom? I'm going to go opaque bright white because I think it'll pop against the quartz pearl card. So I'm going to take my opaque bright white and sprinkle that over and tap off the excess. And then you can see, just looks so classy. The embossing powder. So when we heat this up, you'll see it gives a gorgeous effect. I'm obsessed with it. Like, I'm obsessed, honestly. When you see, dare I say it, okay, we've got like our Christmas products this year. I'm in love with them all. It's so exciting. They're not coming out till July. We're doing Christmas in July, but oh my word, they are incredible. And I've done like some gold and silver cards, and I've done them like in different colours like that, and obviously using the pearls and things like that. They just look fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to heat this up now. So I'm going to use my heat gun. Again, I always go in for speed 2. So just whatever the highest setting is really. So we're going to hold our heat gun still and then just move it over the image. So can you see how my embossing powder is going from like that dull kind of creamy, ivory, off-white colour? And we can just move the heat gun over, and as we move it over, it's going to go to that lovely bright white finish. Okay, and just look at this finish, like, I just love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. So if I turn this round, Okay, and then look at the effect that that then gives. But doesn't the tone on tone look lovely? It just works so well. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start matte and layer my card up a little bit. Now, it's up to you. If you want to trim a little bit extra off the side, you can do, or you can leave this piece at 7x7. I'm going to trim it down so it's about 6 3/4 inches square. So I'll grab in my guillotine. Okay, and I'm going to trim it down to 6 3/4. And that's there. Trim that like that. Okay, and then we're going to pop that back to one side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our scrap paper again and we're going to just edge all of these layers. So to do that, we're going to be using a chisel tip glue pen. Okay, and we're also going to use our Crystallina glitter. So I'm going to put my lid on this embossing powder so I do not knock that over. Okay, I'm seeing all your comments as well coming in about what you would like the stamps for inserts. Of course, we do have some verses already actually in the range as like individual items. What I tend to do for the insides of my cards is I just do a couple of mats and layers and pop a sentiment in. And that's kind of, if it's someone that I know that I'm sending it to, this is really shameful and I probably shouldn't admit this, but I tend to sometimes just put a post-it note in and then ask for the card back for a finished sample. So if they're not keeping the card, that's what I tend to do. If they are, we'll put an insert and everything in it. I did a wedding card actually recently. I don't know if I've still got some photos of it actually. If I have, I'll post it on the page. I don't think I took a photo of the inside though. Basically what I did is I did a mat and a layer, and then on the side I stamped the bride and groom and just stamped the verse in the middle of it and embossed it all in silver. And that looked really nice too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my chisel tip glue pen. I'm going to drag it down the edge of my card like so. Then I'm going to tap on with my Crystallina glitter. So you can see how it's going to give you like that lovely little glittery edge on your card. Okay, and then we're going to pop this into position. Okay, so we're going to work our way around, popping the Crystallina onto here. Onto there. Okay, so you can see how we've got like that lovely little glittery border, and then we're going to add a little bit more onto here. Okay, and see there's a lot of excitement as well over the Christmas goodies. Just remember at the end of this live I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what's coming next week. Okay, so I'm going to just continue glittering this up a little bit. I haven't got any foam pads on my desk. I've just realised I will have to quickly grab some of those. I've got a brand new roll I think over here ready to use. I'm going to put my glue along the edge of here. Okay, and then we'll do this last layer here as well. Just going to drag down the side using our glue pen. Okay. We'll do this one like so, and then that side. It's going to go into there. Okay then, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put that to one side, put the lid on there, and we are going to grab in some foam pads. Can do a little bit of matting and layering. Look at this. Okay, for anyone who hasn't seen our foam pads on the website, this is how they come. Like seriously, they are a massive roll. So these are the 3mm ones I'm using today. I do believe that we've got some in stock on the website at the moment, but they are honestly, they are just huge. Okay, so we're going to unwrap these so you can tell these are a brand new roll. How exciting. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some of these off the roll here. Okay, put that down there. Okay, and then we're going to start and just mat and layer off with some foam pads. So we're going to pop our piece of the largest piece of quartz card. It's going to go down onto our card flat. So you can use your dry as clear glue to do this, or you could use your collal all purpose. I'm going to use a little bit of this collal I think today to stick this down. a little bit of glue on the back, just a small amount, you don't need loads of glue. And we're going to stick that down onto our card blank. So I always like to make my cards with the fold across the top here, so I'll just make sure I have got that the right way up, which I have. I'm going to stick that down onto there, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to just start and mat and layer up my card. So I'm going to use my foam pads to do this. Okay, which we've established come on a monster roll. Like, they do last a long time. Now you'll probably all understand why I use so many foam pads on my finished projects. It's insane, isn't it? So we're going to add a few onto here. And I'm going to quickly take the backs off of these. I trimmed all my when I did my nails the other night, I filed them all down dead short, and it's hard to take the backs off the foam pads when they're like that, isn't it? Okay, so just pop the rubbish in the bin there. Okay, and then we're going to pop this down onto our card. So it's going to go onto our card blank here, and then we're going to add our next mat onto the top. So we're going to grab some more foam pads. Okay. And then we're going to take the backs off these. Sorry, I've just moved over to my bin. I always kind of just chuck the backs in the bin as I go. Tidy as we go and everything. I do try. Okay, so I'm going to just whip the backs off. There we're all off. Right, and then we're going to pop this down, and we're going to have that lovely geometric background going across the bottom of our card, like so. I'm going to grab in some self-adhesive pearls now. Okay, these are, I think these are just 3mm, to be honest. I don't know what they are, but they're just self-adhesive pearls. Just whatever I've got in my craft box I tend to use. Okay, so I'm going to grab these in. And then I'm just going to add these on where the little like crosses are on the geometric background. So can you see how I'm just adding those in? Okay, so I'm going to pop these onto here. Like so. So just by picking them up with your pokey tool like this. And then placing them down, and you can see how it's going to create this beautiful background on your card. Okay, and of course we do have all these products available on the website as well. Not sure if the pearls are. The pearls did used to be. I don't know whether we've still got any in stock or not. But trust me, when I say we have been working our little socks off recently, we have got so many new goodies that will be landing on the website also very soon. Okay, so it's very, very exciting. So we're going to just keep building this up. Okay. Like so. Adding in these little jewels just under where the little like crosses are, and you can really go to town with this, or you can either go less is more or more is more. I tend to just kind of pop one on each one, to be honest. The kind of look I tend to go for. Okay, so we'll just keep adding these onto here, sticking all these lovely little pearls down. I find this really therapeutic as well when you start sticking these on. Lovely, isn't it, when you start to build them up? But again, if you wanted to make this card for a different occasion, you could always just change the colours up a little bit. You could use the same techniques but change the colours and it would look equally as beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to work and add these onto here. Like so. Adding in these little pearls. I'm nearly there now. I'm nearly there with all the pearls, all the bling. These are about 3mm, I think, these pearls. Again, I don't tend to be too fussy about sizes and things like that either, to be honest. I just tend to use whatever I've got in my craft box is what I tend to use, to be honest. Okay, so we're going to stick these down. It's going to go on there. But you see, by using all like the different pearly colours, by using the the white embossing powder, it just all works so nicely together. So I'm going to just build these up like this, adding in these. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so that's our beautiful background built up. Now if you wanted to, you could always just add a bow and a sentiment onto this card and that would be your card complete. It would look absolutely gorgeous. But we're now going to start and build our flowers up onto here too. Okay, so you can see how this is all going to start to come together. So I'm going to move this card blank out of my way for a moment and I'm going to grab in my scrap paper and I'm going to grab in my beautiful Crystallina glitter. Okay, so Crystallina is like, it's a see-through glitter, okay, which I know that lots of you have got in your craft box. This must be one of our most popular glitters that we do. It is gorgeous. So what I'm going to do, this is a little bit hard to explain, so I'm going to try and hold it up to show you. Is I'm going to go in with my Dries Clear Glue just on the edges of the petals. I'm just going to trace. If I hold that one really close, can you see there? I've just gone along and just popped the glue onto here. So I'm going to go along and on all of the edges of the petals I'm just going to add my Dries Clear Glue on like this. Again, I'm not too fussy about it because basically when this glue dries clear, you're just going to get like a clear sparkle on the edge of the petals, so you're going to get that lovely glitter. So if we just go along, adding this in like this. Gets a little bit fiddly now when you've got glue on lots of the petals, but you can just go in again. You can just add in, using like this. Sorry, I'm concentrating, I'm going really quiet there. But you can see how that's all nicely built up. Okay, and then we're going to take our Crystallina glitter and we're just going to sprinkle that over the edges like this. Now when we hold that up, can you see we just sprinkle it over? Just keep going there. Can you see how you get that gorgeous like glittery edge around the edge of the flowers? But when it dries, it'll dry down. If I bring the finished sample in, when it dries, it'll dry down and you'll just get the glitter on the edges of the flowers, which will look so pretty. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take my Dries Clear Glue again. I'm going to go into the middle and just add like a few little dots. Again, by using this Dries Clear Glue with this, it is incredible, this fine tip applicator, because it just lets you get into all of the detail. So you can see I'm just adding little dots of glue into the middle. Okay, and then we're going to sprinkle over our glitter, tap off the excess, and then you can see. You see that in the middle of the flowers? Imagine if you did these in red though. Did them in red, okay, just imagine these flowers are red now. And then you put the black stamens in the middle and put the black glitter on, they'd look like poppies, wouldn't they? Which would be really nice. Okay, so I'm going to pop that, just pop that down. I'm just going to grab, I'm in my craft room, so you'll hear me shuffling about a bit here. I've got like a box of like beads and things. So what I do is I've just been using, because I seem to have amassed a lot of these like proper beads. Okay, like the round ones. So what I've been doing is just put them in the middle of my flowers. Okay, so to do that, what I tend to do is I just put a big, I gave dry as clear glue, I use it for everything, massive blob in the middle, so I kind of infill it like this. And I take my my pearl and just drop it in. I always like to make sure though that the hole's like to the side so you don't really see it. Like that. And you can see, then when that glue dries, it'll all dry clear. Okay, and you'll have that beautiful, beautiful flower. So that's one done, ready to go on your project. So we're going to do exactly the same with the smaller ones now. Now it's a little bit fiddly doing this with your glue, but it's honestly worth it. So again, I'm just going along the edge of each of the petals, like so. And I'm not being overly careful about it. I'm just kind of just tracing the edge. Like so. Okay. Just adding in our glue. Just on the edges. Okay, and I'm going to sprinkle this over. Do you know what I'm just thinking as well? I'm being so naughty today, giving you so many sneak peeks. But I'm just thinking we've got some amazing, dare I say this, like it is incredible. Some new Sparklicious glitter coming out. That'll be coming out in July. And it would look awesome for this technique. Actually, I might have to do it. I'm gonna do it as a little sneak peek for you all. Won't go up till nearer the time, but it would look incredible for this technique. When the light hits it, it would just look awesome. So, I'm going to dust that over here. And then we're going to put our big blob of PVA in the middle again. And because this dries completely crystal clear, it is brilliant for this technique. Now what I'm going to try and do with this one, I'm going to try and grab this pearl bead with my tweezers. And drop it in the middle, like so. Okay. So you can see how that's then all nicely built up there too. So I'm going to pop that one to one side. I'm going to do the final one now. Okay. Oh, I'm so pleased that you're finding this lovely wedding card useful. That's always good to know. I didn't know whether you would all kind of like doing a wedding card as much, but I thought you could always kind of adapt and change it to make it for any occasion. Okay, so we're going to go in with our dry as clear glue. Like so. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my PVA glue. Like this. Okay, and then we're going to cover with our crystallina. Like so. So the one thing you have to be careful of as well, because it's also layered, you're going to get little bits of crystallina all stuck in the layers, but don't stress too much about that. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to add my little pearl into the middle of here. Okay, so I'm going to pop all the glue into the middle, and then I'll find a little pearl. Oops. So I'm going to put this one into here, like so. And then you can see how gorgeous that then looks. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to put my lid on this glitter again. And we are going to, which bit should we do next? Should we do our sentiment next? We'll give those a little bit of time to dry. So while they're drying, I'm going to stamp and emboss my sentiment. So I'm going to keep this as a wedding card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab in like a baby wipe. Let me just see if I can grab one of those to just wipe my my mat over. I feel like I've got glitter and everything all over my fingers now. Okay, so I'm going to pop that onto there, just give that a little wipe. Get rid of all the rubbish on there. Okay then, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a piece of white card. So we want some white card. Okay. I'm going to do our sentiment. So to do that, we're going to start off with just plain white card, and I'm just looking actually for where I put my stamp. Here we go. Congratulations on your wedding day. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to make a wedding card, but again, at this point, if you made it for a birthday or an anniversary, this is the point that you would change your greeting up a little bit as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take an anti-static bag, which I've got here. I want my silver embossing powder. Let me just see if I can grab that out of the drawer next to me, because for some reason I haven't put it out on my desk. I think I've probably been using it, you know. This is what tends to happen. This is normally the problem. There we go. This one's metallic silver, super fine. Okay, so little just over with your anti-static bag, grabbing your stamp and grabbing your clear embossing ink pad again. This is the WOW one. Hopefully we'll be back in stock soon. Again, I've kind of been asking, but I haven't had a date at the moment. So we're going to ink our stamp, lots and lots of tapping all over the image, and then we're going to grab in our white card. We're going to place this down and press. Okay, so we're just going to press over with our fingers, and then we're going to lift that off, and then we're going to grab in our scrap paper, and we're going to use our metallic silver super fine, sprinkle that over. Now of course you could use any sentiment you like for this. Okay, and we're going to pop that back into the jar. And we're going to heat this up. Let me just run my heat gun. So we're going to hold the heat gun still. And then as soon as that powder starts to melt and change, we're just going to move the heat gun over the image. So then you can see how we've got that lovely heat embossed congratulations on your wedding day. Okay, so I'm going to grab in my little guillotine now. Grab my smaller one in. I'm going to trim this down to size on my card. So we're going to take our guillotine, just literally slide it in, and then trim it down like so. A little bit off that side. A little bit off this side. Here we go. Put that down there. And trim a little bit off there. Okay. So we're going to pop this down to one side here. And then what we're going to do is we'll grab our scrap paper again. And then we're going to use Crystallina. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to put that to one side. I'm thinking I'll do that in a moment. I'm going to grab in a leftover piece of my quartz pearl card. Okay. And I'm going to just over that with an anti-static bag. And I'm going to grab in my lovely geometric background stamp. And I'm going to take my clear embossing ink pad again. I'm going to ink up my stamp. So lots of tapping all over the image like so. Okay, and then we're going to place this down onto here and press. So again, we want firm even pressure all over the stamp. With this particular stamp, I do like to stand up because with it being a larger image, I do tend to find that it's a little bit easier if you just stand up to get the pressure on there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my opaque bright white superfine embossing powder and sprinkle that over the top. So again, just sprinkle this over like so. Oops. Try not to knock it off as well. There we go. Sprinkle that over. You can tell I've smudged that there a little bit with my finger. I'm not going to stress too much about that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trimming a little piece down anyway, so we'll just trim it from the other end. There's plenty of space on there. Okay, if I've got any little stray flecks like I did, then you can just go in with your paintbrush and just dust them away. Okay, so we're going to heat up our image. So we're going to use our heat gun. And we're going to hold the heat gun still. And then just as you can see when that powder starts to melt and change, we're just going to move the heat gun over the image. Like so. And you can see we've got that lovely background all nicely stamped and heated up there. So what I'm going to do now is trim this down to size, and this is why I never really give you any measurements for your sentiments, because I just tend to do them all by eye, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to just trim this down to start with, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to pop that over the top. I'm going to flip it over. Going to go onto there. I'm going to just mark with a pencil. Like so. And then we'll pop that into the guillotine. Hopefully I've got that at the end where I haven't made a mistake. I'm pointing all my mistakes out to you today, aren't I? Okay, so we're going to pop that into there. Put that into there. Okay. And then that's going to go onto there, like so. So you can see how that's starting to come together. And then I'm just going to stick it onto some crystal white card as well. So to mat this down, I'm going to put that onto here. I'm going to mark that with my thumbnail. Mark that one with my thumbnail. And then we're going to pop that into the guillotine. Just trim that down. A little bit off there. So you can see how this is all starting to come nicely together as well. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side. It's going to go in the bin, and then we're going to allow these bits together. So before we start to stick these together, I'm going to just, again, I do love my crystalline glitter, so I'm going to edge them all in that. So I'm going to grab in these ones here, and I'm just going to use my chisel tip glue pen. Again, I'm holding it like at a 45-degree angle and just dragging it towards me, like so. Okay, and then we're just going to work round, popping this onto here. We do this one as well. And this one just down there. Pop that onto there. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to just stick our little mats and layers together. So again, I'm just going to use, I'll just use dry clear to do this actually. A little bit of glue on the back of here. Okay, so we're going to pop that down into there, like so. We'll pop some foam pads onto the back of here. Take the backs off the foam pads. Going to go onto there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of foam onto the back of here. Right, get this stuck onto our card blank now. So we'll grab our base card back in. Okay, and then we're going to pop that onto here, like so. Okay, so that's going to go, actually it's not going to go there, it's going to go a little bit lower, I think, out there. Looks good to me. Okay, then what we're going to do now is we're going to stick our flowers into place. So to do that, I am going to use a little bit of Foliage 3D glue gel. Every time I've got two tubes on my desk, one of them needs unblocking and the other one doesn't. Every time I pick one up, let's pick the blocked one. Right, we're going to take a little bit of Foliage on the back. Okay, I'm not happy with where I've got this sentiment. Just going to shuffle it over the side a little bit more. Okay. It's going to go, shuffle it to there. Should fit those in a little bit better. There we go. That's loads better. I'm going to put one flower on there. Put one flower higher. One flower lower. Just shuffle. See, because you're using your 3D glue gel as well, it gives you that time to manoeuvre things a little bit. There we go. Okay. So you can see how that's on there. Okay, so next thing we're going to add in that foliage, and that's going to make this card start to come to life. So what we're going to do is grab our spring foliage stamps. So the ones that we're using, I have pre-prepped these, so I'll just do one of each to show you. Is we're going to be using the lovely leaves, and we're also going to be using the little spray as well. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to put that pin in there. And then I'm going to grab in my foliage stamps. I'm going to start with that lovely leaf design. Okay, and I'm going to grab in some heat resistant acetate. Again, it is really important for this technique that your acetate is heat resistant. If it's not, what you'll find is your acetate will just like shrivel and melt, and we don't want that. Okay, so we're going to ink our stamp up. Again, using that clear embossing ink pad. Then we're going to place this down and press. So we're going to pop that one onto there. So because we're stamping onto acetate, you're not going to need as much pressure either. And please always keep one hand on the stamp and use your other hand to press. And then we're going to take our, this is opaque, no it's not, it's white pearl embossing powder that I'm going to use. It is, honestly, I'm obsessed with it. It's lovely for making backgrounds for starters. Because it's nice and subtle and it's transparent, so it'll allow the colour from underneath to come through. But it just gives your projects that lovely kind of pearly sheen. So if you haven't got white pearl in your craft box, I would definitely be adding it in because it is fabulous. So I think for my finished project I did about four of these leaves. You can see, look at when it changes. It's so kind of lovely. And it's got such a beautiful like pearlescence to it. Can you see there? It is a gorgeous, gorgeous embossed powder. And I think again it gets a little bit overlooked. So if you can, please do add that one into your stash because it's one that you'll use so much. I'm just going to swap my stamps over. So I'm going to take my little like flowery type bud spray. And I'm going to stamp I do 6 of these onto my heat resistant acetate. Again, just place down and press. And we're going to emboss this one using the opaque bright white superfine. So we're going to sprinkle this over, and then we're going to heat this up, and I'll show you how to glitter these. So I'm going to put that to one side, and then we're going to heat this up. So again, you need 6 of these, okay, for your finished project. So I'll roughly trim these out. Okay, so to cut my leaves out, again, we're just going to add this in. And see, Sue's asking, does the white pearl come in a large jar? No, it doesn't at the moment. It just comes in the smaller jar. Okay, so I'm just going to cut my leaves out. So again, I'm really rough when I trim these out. I'm not careful at all. You can see how fab that then looks. Okay. So I'm then going to grab in my embossed little berry sprays. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to grab our gorgeous, this is like incredible, look at this food container. There's no food in here, it's all glitter. So this is incredible. Okay, this is our Winter Wonderland Sparklicious glitter, but look, it's like, I can't describe it, it's like a pearlescent glitter, but then we've added extra glitter into the pearlescent glitter. It's like, oh, it's just gorgeous. So I'm finding it works really nice for wedding cards. Obviously for snow, if you're doing your Christmas projects, it looks awesome. But like for your wedding cards and on these like little budge things, it just looks fabulous because it gives you like a texture to your projects. So what I do is, working on the side that I've got my embossing so I can feel that it's raised, I'm taking my dry clear glue, I'm going in and I just add like a little dot of glue onto each of the little buds here, like so. And then I'm going to take my, this is Winter Wonderland, and just sprinkle it over, but then I'm going to move that pot out of the way because it might make it a little bit harder to see. So I don't want to spill it, so I'm going to put the lid on. Okay, so bring that in. Can you then just see how you get that texture in there? And then when it dries down, I've got one that's dry, bear with me a moment. Can you see? You get like the little, it looks like it's like twinkling and frosted. I'm obsessed with this glitter at the moment. You'll find that it's on quite a lot of my projects now going forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in our foliage onto the background of our card. So we're going to start with our lovely pearlescent leaves, and I like these because they're quite subtle when you tuck them in. So we're going to take our 3D glue gel, literally blob of glue on the bottom like this, and then we're going to tuck these in behind the flowers. So this one's going to go onto here, it's going to go onto here, but you can see how you can just start to build it all up. Going to go there. So I'm really not doing a good job at showing you that, am I? Like out of shot and everything. It all started out so professionally, didn't it? So we're going to take our little leafy spray and chuck this one behind there. It might be a little bit hard for you to see this on camera, I'm not sure. It might be a little bit hard to pick up. Okay, then we're going to put this one into here, like so. And then we're going to take these little light sprays and just start to tuck them in. So when I'm cutting the bottoms off, it's just so I can get them in a little bit closer in towards my flowers. So I'm going to put one at the bottom down here. So that'll then just tuck under there, like so. Then we're going to add one under here. But do you know what? If you did these little sprays, if you stamped and embossed them in green, and then did them the little berries in red, they'd look like holly berry sprays for Christmas, which would be really nice, wouldn't it? It'd be fab. Okay, so we're going to add a few more of these in. So I'm going to add one into there. So I'm just like, there's no kind of specific way that I'm putting these on. I'm just randomly adding them onto my project. Okay, it's going to go there. And then I'm going to take the end off here and tuck this one in at the top. Okay. And see how that's then built the card up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some of those little opal jewels. Okay, and I'm just, oh no, they're not opal. They're the wrong colour there. They're silvery ones, we don't want them. I'm going to take some opal ones. Okay, and we're just going to dot these about around the flowers. So I'm just going to go in with my glue, and I'm dotting these onto like where my pearlescent leaves are, and then it'll just help to add that little bit of kind of dimension to my project. Now this is just like a sticky pencil that I'm using. Someone actually gave me this. One of the ladies who comes in on a Wednesday. I just find it easier for picking the jewels up. Add a couple of more, just like that. One there. But you can just see how you can really kind of build your background up a little bit here. Okay, so that would then be your finished card. Okay, now all I would probably do is just go in and add some little pearls into the corner, like so. But you can see how beautifully that is then all going to come together. Okay, so hopefully you have all enjoyed crafting along. Okay, so you can see exactly what we've done today and how we've built this built this project up, really. So we've started from the very beginning using our sheets of vellum and our gorgeous pearl card, and this is where we've ended up. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see me again. Okay, I'm going to move this one out of the way, hopefully. Try and do that very carefully. See, we're getting all technical now. I've got a fancy camera and everything. Okay, so hopefully you have all enjoyed today's stamp alongs. This was the fab project that we made. So thank you so much to everyone who's joined me. But would you like a little sneak peek at some of the new products that are coming this week? I've only got one that I can actually show you. That's a bit sad because everyone carries metal dies around in the handbags, don't they? Just what I found. Okay then. So this is what we are going to be launching on the website next week. So there won't be an actual stamp along next week. There will be a live video next week. I'm not sure if it'll be on Wednesday. We're just figuring it all out at the moment, but there won't be an actual stamp along. If I do a video on Wednesday, it'll be showing you a project with a sneak peek of the brand new layering dies. Okay, so these are absolutely incredible. Okay, honestly, we've worked so hard on these. They are fabulous. So these dies have been sized to work on your 8x8 cards. So they start off at 8x8 in size, okay, and then the fancy ones work down in 1/2 inch increments. So within this set you've got 15 metal dies. They all come on a fabulous magnetic storage sheet as well that makes storing them an absolute breeze, and they come in our gorgeous brand new card pouches too, which are just amazing. But these dies are so special. They've been engineered to cut through 2 pieces of thick card at once. The graduation in the shapes is perfect. When we designed these, I wanted these to fit perfectly on an 8x8 card, and these absolutely do that. They are absolutely beautiful. So the fancy sizes go down in 1/2 inch increments. Then we have plain sizes, so we've got plain circles, plain squares, plain rectangles and plain ovals, and they all go down in 1/4 inch increments. So if you're not that good at cutting straight lines for your mat and layering, the square set is going to be perfect for you, because you'll just be able to run it through your die cut machine and stick them onto your 8x8 cards. So we've got the plain ones, and then we've got these gorgeous fancy ones, and we've got 4 designs of these as well. So we've got the circle, the square, the oval and the rectangle and the fancy shapes that again you are going to be able to mat and layer onto your projects. You can use them together with the basic shapes, or you can use them independently, and they are absolutely fabulous. These are going to take your projects to another level. For your mat and layering and making crafting an absolute breeze, these are fantastic. And the fact that they come on the magnetic storage sheet, that just sold the set to me, to be honest. And you get 15 dies in the fancy ones. You get even more in the plain ones. I can't remember how many it is, but it is so many actually. 2 seconds. I think I might have my plain sets in my storage folder here. Give me 2 seconds. I certainly do. See, mine came, and I didn't get the magnetic sheet with mine. I had to buy my own. But look at that. So these are the plain sets as well. They are absolutely fabulous. And do you know what's even better about these? Even if you buy them individually, okay, we are doing the big bulk bundles again. So there'll be the plain, the fancy, or do you know what, Chloe? I can't decide. I just need everything. We've got the different bundles that'll be going up on the website. But even if you buy just one set individually, they're all under £25 a set, which for what you are getting is just incredible value. So we've got fancy designs. Let me just have a little... Do you know what? I'm just going to get them out of my folder and show you. So I've shown you, this one's the fancy circle. Okay. We've got, I don't think I've got all the plain ones with me, but I've definitely got all the fancy ones. This one is the fancy oval. Okay. Whoops. So again, all size to work on your 8x8 cards. And again, they do all come on your magnetic storage sheet. So this one's your oval. Okay. Which is absolutely beautiful. they are going to cut through 2 sheets of thick card at once as well. So you're going to be able to create your easel cards with these. You're going to be able to create your shaped card blanks with them as well. This one, I think you're all going to go nuts for this one. This is the square one, and I love it. Look at that one. This is the big fancy square one, okay, which is fabulous. Again, for your mats and layers, size to fit on your 8x8 projects, they are fabulous. So it's your fancy squares. And then your fancy rectangles. Oh, look at this one. This makes the most incredible easel card, or most incredible shaped card blank as well. Okay, so they will all be launching on the website next week. We are kind of just confirming the launch date of when they'll actually go live on the website next week. But they will be going on there. So next week there won't be a stamp along. If we do a video on Wednesday, it'll probably be me giving you a sneak peek with a project of these. If not, I will be doing a live video next week at some point. So please do sign up to the email newsletter, and you'll get an email letting you know when the live video will be. Yes, lots of exciting things happening at Chloe HQ. So basically, we're kind of moving things around in the warehouse to make lots of space for lots of new goodies that will be arriving soon. So that's all very exciting. So it's all go down there. We've got these fabulous new dies launching, and of course, if you haven't done so already, if you hop over at the website, we've got a loyalty reward scheme live now as well. So it's called Sparkle Points. So basically, you go onto the website, there's now a little button in the bottom right corner that says rewards. If you click on that, you can sign into your account, and that will automatically register you for the rewards points. If you haven't got an account, you can literally join and it'll register you to get the reward points. So the reward points all launched on Monday, so they are valid on orders placed on Monday or after. Okay, it went live at 9 o'clock on Monday morning. So basically, it's really simple. For every £1 that you spend, you get 1 point on your account. Once you've got 100 points added up all together, you'll then get a £5 off voucher emailed to you to use on your next order. And then if you tell us your birthday, we award an extra 100 points onto your account on your birthday. Okay, so you're pretty much getting like a £5 voucher on your birthday too. We do need 1 month's notice for your birthday though, that is the only thing. But yeah, and you'll get one of those a year. So that's super, super exciting. Okay then. So thank you so much for all of your fabulous comments. And yes, I will be back very soon with lots more new goodies. I hope that you are all going to love them. But honestly, these dies are just incredible. I think you're going to absolutely love these when you get them home. We've had such a blast working with them. Even just creating frames and things, like, they are so useful. So thank you so much for all of your comments. I'm going to go now because I've got cards to make and things. But I will see you all again very soon. And if you haven't done so already, hop over at the website chloescreativecards.co.uk because we've got some amazing crafty goodies on there. So I'll see you all again soon. Bye!